The stars had always watched humanity, but not in the way anyone had imagined. Dr. Sarah Chen realized this truth on a quiet Tuesday morning in her quantum research lab beneath the Rocky Mountains. The discovery wasn't accompanied by dramatic alarms or flashing lights, just an anomaly in her quantum field measurements that shouldn't have existed. Dr. Chen, her assistant, Marcus Wong, called from his monitoring station. "You need to see this." His voice carried the kind of forced calm that suggested anything but. Sarah moved to his station, her eyes fixing on the holographic display. The quantum field readings from their latest experiment showed perfect, geometric patterns. Too perfect. Natural quantum fluctuations were chaos given form. These were deliberate. "How long?" she asked, her fingers tracing the air above the patterns. "They've always been there," Marcus replied. "We just weren't looking the right way. The patterns are embedded in the quantum fabric itself, like..." He hesitated. "Like a fence." A fence. The word echoed in Sarah's mind as the implications crashed over her. Humanity hadn't been alone in the universe. They'd been contained. Within hours, the facility transformed into a hub of frenetic activity. Government officials arrived, military personnel secured the perimeter, and Sarah's team worked tirelessly to decode the patterns they'd discovered. What they found shattered every assumption humanity had made about their place in the universe. "It's not just a fence," Sarah explained to the hastily assembled council of world leaders, their faces floating on screens around her secure briefing room. "It's a quarantine field. We've been living in a cosmic zoo, and our wardens never expected us to notice the bars." Admiral James Rivera, the UN Space Force commander, leaned forward in his virtual window. "How advanced are they, Dr. Chen?" Sarah pulled up a new set of readings. "Advanced enough to manipulate quantum fields on a stellar scale. But that's not what should worry us." She highlighted a section of data. "What should worry us is that they're scared of us." The room fell silent. Sarah continued, "The quarantine field isn't just containing us. It's monitoring us. Specifically, it's monitoring our brains, every human brain on Earth. And recently, those monitoring patterns have changed. They're becoming more active." "Why?" The Chinese premier's question cut through the silence. "Because we're evolving," Sarah replied. "Not physically, but mentally. Our quantum research, our AI developments, our neural interfaces, they're all leading to something the aliens couldn't expect." She brought up a new hologram, showing human neural patterns alongside the alien monitoring frequencies. Every other species they've encountered thinks in linear patterns, bound by their evolutionary history. But humans. She overlaid the patterns, showing how human thoughts created chaos in the quantum field. "We think in impossible ways. We imagine what cannot be. And then we make it real." The revelation sparked immediate action. Within days, every quantum research facility on Earth redirected their efforts. Sarah's team worked around the clock, pursuing a theory that seemed impossible, but impossibility had become humanity's specialty. 3 weeks later, Sarah stood in her lab, watching as the first human-made quantum field generator came online. It wasn't just a machine. It was proof that humanity could match their unseen watchers' technology. But they'd done it differently, chaotically, beautifully human. "Field is stable," Marcus reported, his voice tight with excitement. "We're ready for the first test." Sarah nodded, her hand hovering over the activation panel. "Begin consciousness integration." The lab hummed as the quantum field synchronized with Sarah's neural patterns. The aliens had built their technology through logic and order. Humanity had built theirs through dreams and intuition. The holographic displays erupted with data as Sarah's consciousness touched the quantum field. She felt it. The vast network of alien monitoring stations, the quarantine field surrounding Earth. And something else. Something the aliens had missed. "My God," she whispered. They never understood what they were looking at. The quantum field wasn't just a tool or a barrier. It was a medium for consciousness itself. And human consciousness, with its chaotic, impossible patterns, could shape it in ways the aliens had never imagined. A signal pierced through their instruments, sharp, clear, and definitely not from Earth. The aliens had noticed their experiment. Sarah's team watched as the message decoded itself through their quantum interface. Attention Earth species, CESUANTUMMANIPULHAON, I'm an EDATLI. Violation of Quarantine Protocols, DETCTED. Compliancy is mandatory. Admiral Rivera's voice came through the comm system. Dr. Chen, we're detecting multiple objects dropping out of faster-than-light travel near Jupiter. Big ones. Sarah straightened, her decision made. They could run and hide, deny their discovery, return to their cosmic cage, or they could show the galaxy exactly what humanity was capable of. Send them our response, she ordered. The message was simple. We see you now, and we're done being washed. Across Earth, other quantum research stations replicated Sarah's breakthrough. Thousands of human minds touched the quantum field, each adding their unique chaos to the pattern. The alien quarantine field flickered as it encountered something it was never designed to contain. Human imagination made manifest. Multiple ships approaching Earth, Marcus reported. Their energy signatures are off the charts. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Let them come. They built their cage with mathematics and physics. We'll break it with dreams and impossibilities. The alien ships entered orbit, their presence impossible to hide from Earth's population. But humanity didn't panic. Instead, they felt something new. A connection through the quantum field, a shared consciousness that maintained their individuality while linking them in ways the aliens couldn't comprehend. They're broadcasting, Marcus announced. The alien message resonated through the quantum field. Your species represents an unacceptable anomaly. Your continued development cannot be permitted. Submit to containment or face extinction. Sarah stepped onto the facility's roof, looking up at the night sky where alien ships now hung like new stars. Behind her, humanity's quantum network hummed with power. Above her, the most advanced civilization in the galaxy waited to pass judgment. She keyed her response into the quantum field, letting every human on Earth add their consciousness to her words. You fear us because we're different, because we don't think like you. But that's not our weakness, it's our strength. We're humanity. We don't just break rules. We imagine new ones. The quantum field surged with human consciousness, and the sky above Earth began to change. The greatest confrontation in human history was about to begin, and humanity would face it as they'd faced every challenge, with impossible dreams and the will to make them real. The stars had always watched humanity, but now humanity was ready to watch back. The quantum field blazed with alien frequencies as their ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. But Dr. Sarah Chen wasn't watching the ships. She was watching the patterns of human consciousness rippling through her laboratory's holographic displays. Neural sync at 97%, Marcus reported, his fingers dancing across quantum-sensitive controls. The Nexus protocol is holding stable across all major population centers. What had started as an experiment in quantum consciousness had become humanity's greatest achievement, and perhaps their only hope. The Nexus protocol allowed human minds to connect through the quantum field, sharing thoughts and dreams while maintaining individual identity. It wasn't a hive mind. It was something uniquely human. Admiral Rivera's hologram materialized in the lab. We've got 13 minutes before their fleet enters optimal weapons range. Please tell me you have something, Dr. Chen. Sarah gestured at the flowing data streams around her. We have 8 billion something, Admiral. Every human mind on Earth is now part of the quantum network. And we're starting to understand what that really means. The alien ships hung in the sky like metallic mountains, their hull designs following perfect mathematical ratios. Everything about them spoke of order, logic, and unchanging patterns. They were beautiful in their perfection, and utterly vulnerable to what humanity had become. "They're broadcasting again," Marcus announced. The alien message resonated through the quantum field. "Your species has progressed beyond acceptable parameters. Your ability to manipulate quantum consciousness threatens the stability of galactic civilization. Final warning. Deactivate your quantum network and submit to containment." Sarah closed her eyes, feeling the thoughts of billions flowing through the Nexus protocol. Scientists, artists, children, dreamers, each mind adding its unique chaos to the pattern. "They still don't understand," she whispered. "They think this is technology." Through the quantum field, she sensed the aliens' confusion. Their sensors detected energy patterns that shouldn't exist, consciousness operating in ways their evolutionary psychology said was impossible. Humanity wasn't just breaking the rules of physics, they were imagining new ones. "Multiple weapons systems activating," Marcus called out. "They're charging something massive." Sarah opened her eyes. "Show me." The holographic display shifted, revealing the alien fleet arranging itself into a precise geometric pattern. Energy began to flow between their ships, forming a lattice of pure physics-defying power. "That's enough energy to crack a planet," Admiral Rivera said quietly. Sarah smiled. "No, it's enough energy to crack reality itself, and they have no idea that's exactly what we wanted them to do." She turned to Marcus. "Initiate Phase 2. Across Earth, billions of human minds focused through the Nexus protocol. They weren't thinking in terms of physics or mathematics. They were thinking in terms of stories, of dreams, of possibilities that had never existed until humanity imagined them." The alien fleet fired. A beam of unimaginable power lanced toward Earth, designed to shatter any conventional defense. But humanity's shield wasn't conventional. It was built from dreams and impossibilities, powered by the one force the aliens couldn't predict: human imagination. As the beam struck the quantum field surrounding Earth, something unprecedented happened. The energy didn't dissipate or reflect. It transformed. Through the Nexus protocol, Sarah felt billions of minds shaping the impossible. Children imagining the beam becoming butterflies of light. Artists seeing it as strands of cosmic paint. Scientists dreaming of new laws of physics where such energy could fold space itself. The alien weapon dissolved into a spectacular aurora that danced across Earth's sky. Its power redirected through paths that existed only in human imagination. Impossible. The alien transmission crackled. "Your defense cannot exist." Sarah broadcast her response through the quantum field, letting every human mind add their voice to her words. "That's exactly why it works." The alien fleet recoiled, their perfect formation wavering for the first time. Their sensors showed them something their minds couldn't process: a species that could collectively imagine new rules for reality itself, then make those rules real through sheer force of shared consciousness. "They're preparing another attack," Marcus warned. Sarah nodded. "And we're ready to show them what else we can imagine." She turned to Admiral Rivera's hologram. "Signal the quantum arrays. It's time to show them why they were right to fear us, just not for the reasons they thought." Deep beneath the Earth's surface, in secret facilities around the world, humanity's true defensive network hummed to life. Not weapons in any conventional sense, but dream machines powered by quantum consciousness. Devices that could take humanity's wildest imaginings and write them into the fabric of reality itself. The alien fleet began their second attack, their ships moving in perfect, predictable patterns. But they were about to learn that in a battle between order and imagination, chaos had the advantage. Through the Nexus protocol, Sarah felt humanity's collective consciousness surge. Artists, dreamers, and mad scientists joined their thoughts together, imagining new laws of physics, new ways for reality to bend. The quantum field around Earth began to shift, not according to any mathematical model, but according to human dreams. "Multiple reality inversions detected," Marcus reported, his voice filled with wonder. "The quantum field it's accepting our imagined physics as valid parameters." Sarah watched as the alien fleet's perfect formation began to distort. Space itself was changing around their ships, following rules that existed only in human imagination. Their weapons fired along trajectories that suddenly curved through dimensions that hadn't existed moments before. "Signal from the alien flagship," Marcus announced. They're requesting communication." Sarah straightened, feeling the support of billions of minds through the Nexus protocol. Humanity had done more than defend itself. It had demonstrated something unprecedented in the galaxy's history. They had shown that consciousness, imagination, and the ability to dream impossible dreams were more powerful than any weapon. The real revolution wasn't in their technology. It was in proving that the universe itself could be reshaped by a species brave enough to imagine something new. "Open the channel," Sarah commanded. "Let's show them what else humanity can dream up." The greatest demonstration of human potential was just beginning. The alien flagship's transmission cut through the quantum field like a blade of pure logic. Their avatar, a being of geometric perfection, materialized in Sarah's lap. "Your species," it stated, each word precisely measured, "is an impossibility." Sarah stood before the projection, feeling the strength of billions of human minds flowing through the Nexus protocol. "We get that a lot," she replied. "Usually right before we do something even more impossible." The geometric being flickered. "You do not comprehend the danger. Your ability to alter reality through collective consciousness violates the fundamental laws of existence. The universe has patterns, rules, order." "The universe," Sarah countered, "has imagination. You've just never met a species that could show you how to use it." Through the quantum field, she sensed the alien fleet's growing distress. Their sensors were detecting phenomena that their science said couldn't exist. Human consciousness was literally rewriting the laws of physics in localized spaces around Earth. Marcus's voice cut through the tension. "They're powering up something new. Energy signatures unlike anything we've seen." The alien avatar's perfect forms shifted. "If you will not accept order, we will impose it." The transmission cut off as the alien fleet began to move. Their ships arranged themselves into a new pattern, not a weapon this time, but something far more ambitious. They were creating a reality enforcement field, a massive web of pure mathematics designed to lock down the fundamental constants of space-time. "They're trying to freeze physics itself," Marcus breathed. "Force our section of space to follow only their accepted laws of reality." Sarah closed her eyes, reaching out through the Nexus protocol. "Then let's show them what happens when 8 billion humans decide to dream at once." Across the planet, humanity's consciousness surged through the quantum field. But this time, they weren't just defending. They were creating. Artists imagined new colors bleeding into existence between wavelengths of light. Children dreamed of spaces that were bigger on the inside than the outside. Scientists conceived of particles that could exist in infinite states simultaneously. The alien reality enforcement field slammed into Earth's atmosphere like a tie of pure law and order. For a moment, reality seemed to crystallize, patterns of mathematical perfection trying to lock everything into predictable states. But human consciousness didn't fight against the patterns. It flowed through them, around them, twisted them into new shapes that shouldn't have been possible. The aliens had brought mathematics to a dream fight. Reality stabilization failing, the alien fleet broadcasted, their perfect patterns showing the first signs of genuine fear. Human consciousness is creating. Sarah opened her eyes, watching as the space around Earth transformed. The quantum field wasn't just accepting human imagination, it was amplifying it. Dreams were becoming real, possibility was overriding probability, and the very fabric of space-time was learning how to dance. Through the Nexus protocol, she felt a child in Mumbai imagining that light could sing. Suddenly, aurora-like waves above Earth began emanating harmonies that no human ear had ever heard before. A poet in Buenos Aires dreamed that gravity could flow like water, and portions of the alien fleet found themselves caught in tides of distorted space. "Their ships are retreating," Marcus reported. They can't maintain formation in spaces that don't follow their physics. But Sarah saw something else in the data streams, patterns of consciousness from the alien fleet that didn't match their usual perfect geometry. Some of them were beginning to wonder, to question, to imagine. "We're detecting quantum consciousness signatures from their crews," Marcus confirmed. They're starting to dream." Sarah smiled. This had never been about winning a war. It was about teaching the galaxy how to imagine. The alien flagship's transmission returned, but the geometric avatar was different now, its perfect patterns showing the first signs of beautiful imperfection. What is happening to us?" the alien representative asked, its voice carrying the first tremors of uncertainty. "You're experiencing imagination," Sarah explained. "Your species has spent millennia mastering the rules of reality. We've spent our existence dreaming up new ones. And dreams, it turns out, are contagious." Through the quantum field, she felt it spreading. The first tentative dreams of alien minds discovering that reality wasn't a cage of unchangeable laws, but a canvas waiting for new possibilities. The alien fleet hung in disarray around Earth, their perfect formations dissolving as their crews grappled with concepts their evolution had never prepared them for. Some ships maintained their positions, clinging to the comfort of mathematical certainty. Others began moving in new patterns, exploring spaces that their sensors said couldn't exist. "They're requesting to land," Marcus announced. "Not as conquerors, as students." Sarah broadcast her thoughts through the Nexus protocol, letting humanity vote with their collective consciousness. The response was overwhelming, not triumph or vindication, but welcome. Humanity had faced extinction and responded by teaching their would-be destroyers how to dream. "Signal the alien fleet," she ordered. "Tell them we'll teach them how to imagine. But first," she gestured at the quantum field still shimmering with human dreams, "we should probably stabilize local reality a bit. We don't want their ships materializing inside out, because someone imagined space could wear itself as a hat." As the alien ships began their careful descent through an atmosphere that now occasionally tasted like starlight, Sarah felt humanity's collective consciousness shift from defense to creation. They had proved themselves not just worthy of joining galactic civilization, but capable of transforming it. The age of pure logic was ending. The era of imagination had begun. The first alien delegation landed on a field of grass that sometimes glowed with remembered starlight, an aftereffect of humanity's quantum dreaming that nobody had bothered to correct. They emerged from their geometrically perfect ships with movements that were no longer quite so precise, their crystalline forms catching Earth's sunlight in ways that created impossible rainbows. Sarah watched through the quantum field as the aliens experienced their first direct contact with Earth's changed reality. Their sensors weren't just detecting impossibilities now, they were living them. "Their consciousness patterns are evolving," Marcus reported, studying the quantum readings. "It's like watching ice learn how to flow." The alien leader, who had introduced itself as pattern seeker of perfect forms, approached the human delegation. Its crystalline structure, once a monument to mathematical precision, now showed subtle variations, the first physical manifestations of imagination taking root. "We have existed for 30,000 of your years," Pattern Seeker communicated through the quantum field. "In all that time, we sought to understand the universe through perfect laws. Now we question if we understood anything at all." Sarah stepped forward, humanity's collective consciousness flowing through her like a river of dreams. "Understanding isn't always about finding the right answers," she replied. "Sometimes it's about asking impossible questions." Through the Nexus protocol, she felt humanity's response to the aliens. Not fear or triumph, but a deep curiosity. 8 billion minds reached out through the quantum field, sharing not just thoughts, but dreams, hopes, and impossible imaginings. The effect on the aliens was immediate and profound. Their crystalline forms began to resonate with new frequencies, their consciousness patterns spiraling into shapes that their own science had deemed impossible. "We are changing," Pattern Seeker observed, its perfect geometric voice acquiring notes of wonder. Your species' ability to imagine is infectious. Imagination isn't a disease, Sarah explained, watching as more alien ships descended through the dream-touched atmosphere. It's the universe's way of knowing itself. You've spent millennia studying reality's laws. We've spent our existence dreaming of what those laws could become. Around them, reality continued to shift in subtle ways. The quantum field, charged with the dreams of billions of human minds, had transformed Earth's environment into something between science and fantasy. Gravity had learned to dance, light had discovered how to sing, and space itself had developed a sense of artistic expression. "Warning," Marcus called out, his hands moving across quantum-sensitive displays. "We're detecting massive consciousness shifts throughout the alien fleet. Their entire neural network is reorganizing." Sarah nodded, unsurprised. They're not just learning to imagine. They're remembering how. Every species must have had this capability once, before evolution and logic buried it beneath layers of order. Pattern Seeker's crystalline form shimmered with new possibilities. "We thought we came to contain a threat to galactic stability. Instead, we have found." It paused, experiencing difficulty with a concept that had never before existed in its language. Teachers. Through the quantum field, Sarah felt the change rippling through the alien fleet. Their rigid hierarchy was dissolving, replaced by something new. A network of consciousness that preserved individuality while allowing for shared dreams. They were learning in their own way what humanity had discovered through the Nexus Protocol. "Their ships," Marcus reported with awe in his voice. "They're changing." Above Earth, the alien vessels were transforming. Their perfect geometric shapes began to flow like liquid crystal, forming patterns that existed somewhere between mathematics and art. They weren't just adapting to Earth's dream-touched reality. They were learning to contribute to it. "We request," Pattern Seeker announced, its voice now a harmony of logic and imagination, "to learn. Our civilization has mastered the art of following rules. Teach us the art of dreaming new ones." Sarah broadcast the request through the Nexus Protocol, letting humanity decide. The response came back as a wave of pure creative energy. 8 billion minds opening themselves to share not just knowledge, but the very essence of human imagination. The quantum field erupted with new possibilities as human and alien consciousness began to merge and dance. Children taught ancient alien minds how to play pretend. Artists showed beings of pure geometry how to paint with probability. Scientists and dreamers worked together to imagine new laws of physics, then brought them into reality through shared belief. "Look," Marcus whispered, pointing to his quantum displays. "The changes are spreading." Through the vast network of alien quantum technology that had once been used to quarantine Earth, a new force was spreading across the galaxy. Imagination, dreams, and the ability to think impossible thoughts were flowering on thousands of worlds. Pattern Seeker's crystalline form had become something new. Neither purely geometric nor completely chaotic, but a beautiful synthesis of both. "We understand now," it communicated, its thoughts carrying harmonics of wonder. "The universe is not a machine to be understood. It is a dream to be shaped." Sarah felt humanity's collective consciousness surge with joy and purpose. They had faced extinction and instead sparked a revolution, not of technology or warfare, but of consciousness itself. The galaxy was awakening to its own infinite possibilities. "So," she asked, watching as reality itself seemed to hold its breath with anticipation, "what shall we dream together?" Above them, the sky had become a canvas for shared imagination, where human dreams and alien geometry danced together in patterns that redefined the possible. The greatest adventure in galactic history wasn't about conquest or survival. It was about teaching the universe itself how to imagine. And humanity, the species that had never stopped dreaming, would lead the way. 1 year after first contact, Earth had become the center of a galactic renaissance. The planet hung in space like a jewel of impossible colors, surrounded by a quantum field that pulsed with the combined dreams of a dozen species. Ships of living crystal and imagined physics danced through orbits that spiraled through dimensions that hadn't existed before humanity taught the galaxy how to dream. In her laboratory, now expanded into spaces that were bigger on the inside than the outside, Sarah Chen watched as representatives from across the galaxy gathered for what they were calling the first conclave of shared dreams. Neural network at full capacity, Marcus reported from his station, which now floated in a perpetual state of quantum uncertainty. We're receiving consciousness signatures from over 10,000 alien vessels. Through the enhanced Nexus protocol, Sarah felt the combined thoughts of not just humanity, but countless alien minds, each bringing their own unique patterns to the grand tapestry of galactic consciousness. What had started as humanity's defense mechanism had evolved into something far more profound, a way for all sentient life to share in the act of creation. Pattern Seeker, its crystalline form now a constantly shifting artwork of logic and dreams, materialized beside her. The last of the Pure Order factions have requested to join the conclave, it announced, its thoughts carrying harmonics of joy that would have been impossible a year ago. They have finally accepted that stability through rigid control was an illusion. Sarah nodded, watching the quantum displays that showed consciousness patterns spreading across the galaxy like ripples in the cosmic dream. They were never our enemy, she said, just our future students. Above Earth, the gathered ships began to move in new patterns, their crews joining in what had become known as the Great Dreaming. It was neither chaos nor order, but a perfect synthesis of both. Imagination guided by understanding, dreams shaped by knowledge. Multiple reality manifolds forming, Marcus called out, his voice filled with wonder. They're creating. Something new, Sarah finished, feeling the combined consciousness of countless species flowing through the quantum field, something that could only exist when we all dreamed together. Through the Nexus protocol, she felt it happening. Alien minds that had once thought only in crystal patterns were learning to paint with probability. Species that had evolved to see only in perfect mathematics were discovering the beauty of impossible colors. And humanity, the species that had never stopped imagining, was learning new ways to dream from their galactic neighbors. The space above Earth began to transform, not with the raw, uncontrolled power of humanity's first defensive dreaming, but with the precise artistry of multiple species working in harmony. Reality folded into new shapes, probability danced with possibility, and the very fabric of space-time learned how to sing in harmonies that no single species could have imagined alone. We are detecting consciousness resonance throughout the galaxy, Marcus reported, his displays showing waves of quantum awareness spreading between the stars. Every species connected to the network is evolving. Pattern Seeker's form shimmered with complex emotions that its kind had never known before humanity taught them how to feel. We sought to contain you because we feared change, it communicated. We never understood that change was the one true constant of existence. Sarah watched as the gathered ships began the creation of something unprecedented, a shared dream space where all species could meet, learn, and imagine together. It wasn't virtual reality or augmented space, but something far more fundamental, a place where consciousness itself could shape the nature of existence. The children of Earth have named it already, she said, feeling the collective imagination of humanity pulse through the quantum field. They're calling it the dream time. Around Earth, space itself began to shimmer as the combined consciousness of multiple species rewrote the laws of physics. But unlike humanity's desperate defense a year ago, this was deliberate, controlled, beautiful. The rigid geometry of alien science merged with the wild dreams of humanity to create something entirely new, a way of existing that honored both order and chaos. Final connection protocols engaging, Marcus announced. The galaxy-wide quantum network it's alive. Sarah felt it. The moment when consciousness transcended the boundaries of species and space. Through the quantum field, minds reached across light years to share not just thoughts or ideas, but dreams. A child's imagination in Tokyo sparked new forms of mathematics in distant alien academies. An alien sense of perfect geometry inspired artists in Brazil to create works in dimensions that hadn't existed before. Pattern Seeker's crystalline form resonated with deep understanding. "We thought we came to judge whether humanity was ready for the galaxy," it communicated. "We never suspected that the galaxy wasn't ready for humanity." The first conclave of shared dreams reached its crescendo as billions of minds, human and alien alike, joined in a moment of pure creation. Reality itself held its breath as consciousness reshaped the possible, transforming not just space and time, but the very nature of existence. "What happens now?" Marcus asked, watching as new forms of life and thought bloomed across the quantum displays. Sarah smiled, feeling the infinite potential of countless species learning to dream together. Now we do what humanity has always done. We imagine something even more impossible, and then we make it real." Above them, the combined dreams of a dozen species painted new constellations across space-time. The galaxy had awakened to its own infinite potential, guided by the species that had never forgotten how to imagine. And this, Sarah knew, was just the beginning. For in the end, humanity's greatest gift to the universe wasn't technology or warfare, or even the power to reshape reality. It was the simple, profound truth that had driven their species since they first looked up at the stars and wondered. The universe is not a machine to be understood, but a story to be written. And every consciousness, every dream, every impossible thought adds a new chapter to the endless tale of existence. The age of pure logic had ended. The era of shared dreams had begun. And somewhere in the quantum field, reality itself was learning how to imagine.